Native financial primitives, a DeFi-ready protocol layer. Unlike general-purpose blockchains that rely entirely on user-deployed smart contracts for financial applications, the Xrpl has key financial functionalities built directly into its protocol. This approach enhances security, efficiency, and ease of use for core financial activities. Integrated Decentralized Exchange, DEX. The Xrpl features a fully functional protocol-level limit order book exchange. This allows any user to issue a token representing any form of value, e.g., a stablecoin, a commodity, a security, and have it be instantly tradable against XRP or any other issued token on the ledger. Because the DEX is a native feature, it avoids the risks of smart contract exploits that have plagued DEXs on other platforms, offering a more secure environment for asset exchange. Diverse and evolving token standards. The ledger supports various token types to represent different assets. The original standard uses trust lines, where an account must explicitly signal its willingness to hold a specific token from a specific issuer. Looking forward, the Xrpl is introducing multi-purpose tokens, MPTs, a more advanced standard designed for greater efficiency and capable of representing complex financial instruments like bonds or structured products by carrying essential metadata directly within the token. Payment-centric design. The protocol includes specialized features optimized for payments and value transfer, such as native escrow functionality that can lock up assets until certain conditions are met, payment channels for high-volume, off-ledger transactions, and multi-signing capabilities for enhanced account security. 53.3. The Compliance Framework. The Credentials Amendment and On-Chain Identity. Perhaps the most significant strategic development for the Xrpl's institutional future is the activation of the Credentials Amendment, XLS70D, on September 4, 2025. This upgrade introduces a native, on-chain identity and compliance layer, directly addressing the primary hurdle for institutional engagement with public blockchains. Enabling on-chain, KYC, AML. The Credentials feature provides a standardized framework for trusted issuers to attest to facts about an Xrpl account, such as its KYC AML verification status, accreditation, or jurisdiction, and record this attestation on the ledger. This process is designed to be privacy-preserving. The sensitive personal documents used for verification are handled off-chain between the user and the issuer. Only the resulting signed credential, a verifiable proof of compliance, is stored on the ledger. A gateway for institutional finance. This amendment transforms the Xrpl into a platform capable of supporting regulated financial activity. It enables the creation of permissioned domains and a permissioned DEX, where participation can be restricted to only those accounts that hold a valid, unexpired credential from a trusted issuer. This allows a financial institution to issue a tokenized security and ensure that it can only be held and traded by other fully compliant, KYC'd participants, mirroring the compliance controls of traditional markets within a decentralized environment. 3.4 Strategic Roadmap and Quantum Resilience. The Xrpl's development trajectory is explicitly focused on bolstering its capabilities for institutional DeFi and preparing for future technological shifts. Institutional DeFi Roadmap. Ripple has outlined a clear roadmap that builds upon the Credentials framework. Key upcoming features include a native lending protocol, planned for version 3.0, which will facilitate on-chain pooled lending and underwritten credit, enabling institutions to access global liquidity pools within a compliant structure. Privacy and quantum resistance. The roadmap also includes the future integration of zero-knowledge proofs, ZKPs, a cryptographic technique that will enable features like confidential transactions and privacy-preserving collateral management, balancing transparency with the confidentiality required for institutional operations. While the Xrpl, like virtually all current blockchains, uses cryptographic signatures, ECDSA, that are vulnerable to future quantum computers, its governance model is built for crypto agility. The Xrpl's amendment process provides a proven on-chain mechanism for upgrading the network's core protocols. This positions the ledger to seamlessly adopt post-quantum cryptographic standards, such as the lattice-based algorithms being standardized by NIST, e.g., Falcon, as they become commercially viable, thereby aligning with the long-term security principles of the QFS. The XRPL's design reflects a series of deliberate trade-offs optimized for financial utility. While often compared to more general-purpose blockchains, its non-Turing complete nature at the base layer and its federated consensus model are not limitations, but strategic choices. They create a more secure, predictable, and highly performant environment specifically for the high-stakes world of financial transactions. The Credentials Amendment is the capstone of this strategy, providing a direct, protocol-level solution to the compliance challenge that has kept many institutions siloed in private DLT networks. It effectively allows the XRPL to function as a hybrid ledger, supporting both permissionless innovation and permissioned, regulated markets on a single, unified infrastructure, a profound competitive advantage in the race to tokenize global finance. Section 4. Evaluating the XRPL token ecosystem for the new paradigm. While the XRP Ledger Protocol provides a robust foundation, the ultimate success of its ecosystem depends on the utility and adoption of the tokens built upon it. An objective evaluation reveals a clear distinction between foundational, institutionally aligned assets and the broader range of community-driven or speculative projects that naturally arise on any permissionless platform. 4.1. Foundational Utility. The role of XRP and the RLUSD stablecoin. The assets most central to the institutional RWA thesis are those that provide core, protocol-level utility for settlement and liquidity. XRP is a bridge and liquidity asset. The ledger's native digital asset, XRP, was designed from its inception to function as a bridge currency. Its primary utility is to facilitate rapid and low-cost value transfer, settling cross-border transactions, and providing on-demand liquidity without the need for pre-funded nostro-vostro accounts. Within the context of a thriving RWA ecosystem on the XRPL's native DEX, XRP is positioned to be the primary intermediary asset. It can serve as the most liquid trading pair against a multitude of diverse tokenized assets, reducing friction and enabling efficient price discovery across the entire on-ledger market. RLUSD, as the institutional settlement layer, Ripple's planned US dollar-backed stablecoin, RLUSD, is being strategically positioned as the primary settlement asset for institutional and enterprise use cases on the XRPL. Unlike algorithmic or crypto-backed stablecoins, RLUSD is designed to meet stringent regulatory and compliance standards, making it a suitable instrument for regulated financial institutions. The integration of RLUSD as a 24/7 off-ramp for BlackRock's BU Idle Fund serves as a powerful, real-world proof of concept. This use case demonstrates its intended function perfectly, providing a compliant, always-on, enterprise-grade digital dollar to settle transactions involving tokenized real-world assets, thereby bridging the gap between on-chain assets and off-chain banking rails. 4.2. DeFi and Infrastructure Projects, a case study of DenariiDFi, DFI. Beyond the core utility assets, a diverse ecosystem of projects is emerging. A case study of DenariiDFi illustrates the ambitions and current market realities of some of these tokens. Project description: DenariiDFi is presented as a digital assets platform aiming to merge Web3, eSports, and quantum AI GameFi across multiple blockchains, including the XRPL, Algo and Hedera. The project's stated purpose is to foster interaction between the gaming community and crypto enthusiasts through a multi-chain framework. 4.3. Community and Speculative Assets, contextualizing MB589 and clarifying MG589. The permissionless nature of the XRPL allows for a wide spectrum of token creation, including projects that are purely community-focused. MB589 analysis. The MB589 token is explicitly identified as a meme token, created for entertainment and community engagement within the XRPL ecosystem. Its tokenomics are heavily weighted towards community distribution through airdrops and competitions, and its culture is centered on decentralized memetics. While projects like MB589 can build active and loyal communities and demonstrate the ledger's capacity for grassroots innovation, their purpose is fundamentally different from the utility-driven, institutionally focused assets that are the subject of TAN examination of the XRPL token ecosystem reveals a clear dichotomy. On one hand, the protocol itself and its core assets, XRP, RLUSD, are being meticulously engineered and strategically positioned to meet the stringent demands of institutional finance, a fact validated by partnerships with entities like BlackRock. On the other hand, the permissionless nature of the ledger fosters a vibrant but nascent landscape of projects with varying degrees of maturity, utility, and market traction. This is not a weakness, but a characteristic of a healthy, open ecosystem. However, it implies that for an institutional stakeholder, the case for XRPL project tokens is not monolithic. Value in the context of the RWA and QFS paradigms will likely accrue to those tokens that provide foundational utility, settlement, liquidity, compliance, and core infrastructure, rather than those with narratives disconnected from the tangible needs of the institutional capital flowing onto the ledger. Section 5. Synthesis and Strategic Outlook. The global financial system is undergoing a fundamental replatforming, moving from analog, centralized infrastructure to a digitally native, distributed model. The analysis presented in this report demonstrates that while the quantum financial system, QFS, provides a compelling theoretical vision for this future, it is the institutional-led tokenization of real-world assets, RWAs, that is the tangible driving force of this transformation. In this context, the XRP ledger and its core ecosystem assets present a powerful and coherent case as a foundational layer for this new financial architecture. 5.1. The confluence of QFS, RWA, and XRPL. The XRP ledger is not merely a participant in this new paradigm. Its core design principles are a direct answer to the requirements outlined by both the QFS framework and the practical needs of the RWA market. The QFS principle of asset backing is implemented through the XRPL's capacity to host tokenized RWAs and compliant, asset-backed stablecoins like RLUSD. The QFS principle of transparency and decentralization is met by the XRPL's public, immutable distributed ledger and its federated consensus mechanism. The QFS principle of efficiency and speed is embodied in the XRPL's 3 to 5 second settlement finality and low-cost, high-throughput transaction processing. Finally, the QFS principle of quantum-resistant security, while a future challenge for all DLTs, is addressable through the XRPL's crypto-agile amendment process, which allows for the seamless integration of post-quantum cryptographic standards as they mature. The XRPL, therefore, stands as a practical, existing solution that is already delivering on the theoretical promises of a next-generation financial system. 5.2. Competitive positioning and interoperability. In the competitive landscape of DLTs, the XRP ledger possesses distinct advantages. While Ethereum benefits from a large developer community and first-mover advantage in DeFi, its Layer 1 struggles with high costs and slow settlement, issues the XRPL was specifically designed to overcome. The XRPL's strategic focus on integrating native compliance tools, such as the Credentials Amendment, gives it a critical edge in attracting institutional actors who prioritize regulatory adherence above all else. The most significant competitive dynamic, however, is the recent move by Swift to develop its own blockchain-based shared ledger in collaboration with over 30 major financial institutions. This development is a double-edged sword. It is the ultimate validation of the DLT thesis for cross-border payments and tokenized value transfer, but it also represents a formidable long-term competitor backed by the incumbent financial order. This underscores that the ultimate battleground will be interoperability. Success will not be determined by a single ledger winning, but by which platforms can most effectively and securely connect to the multitude of private and public DLTs that will make up the future financial landscape. The XRPL's proven ability to integrate with institutional partners and its focus on bridging different value systems will be paramount. 5.3 Recommendations for stakeholders. Based on this analysis, the following strategic recommendations are proposed. For institutional investors, the primary investment thesis should center on the foundational utility of the XRP ledger protocol and its core assets, XRP and RLUSD. When evaluating ecosystem projects, due diligence must be rigorous, prioritizing tokens that provide essential infrastructure for the RWA market, such as compliant issuance platforms, advanced identity solutions, or cross-chain RWA bridges, over projects with purely speculative or niche narratives. For financial institutions, the XRP ledger, particularly with its native compliance and identity features, represents a low-cost, high-performance environment for launching pilot programs in asset tokenization, tokenized deposits, and compliant DeFi. Its efficiency makes it an ideal testing ground for high-volume settlement and clearing use cases that would be prohibitively expensive on other networks. For developers, the most significant opportunities on the XRPL lie in building the picks and shovels for the institutional RWA gold rush, creating tools and platforms that simplify compliant asset issuance, streamline identity verification via the credentials standard, and enhance interoperability between the XRPL and other institutional networks, both DLT-based and traditional, will be of immense value. 5.4 Concluding Thesis. A robust, evidence-based case exists for the XRP ledger and its core utility tokens to assume a significant role in the future of finance. This case is not built on the speculative arrival of a theoretical quantum financial system, but on the XRPL's demonstrable, pragmatic alignment with the immediate, multi-trillion-dollar RWA tokenization trend being driven by the world's most influential financial institutions. The ledger's unique design philosophy, which deliberately trades the general-purpose programmability of other blockchains for specialized, high-performance financial functionality and native compliance, is not a limitation but its greatest strategic advantage. This positions the XRP ledger as a premier settlement layer for the secure, efficient, and regulated tokenized economy of the future.